They looked at us like we were dinosaurs refusing to embrace progress. For years, every time we complained about soulless polymer frames, manufacturers told us to adapt. When we asked where craftsmanship went, they handed us injection-molded receivers. When we questioned why a $5,800 competition pistol used cheap metal injection-molded parts, they smiled and said modern manufacturing was just as good. They told us blued steel was obsolete, that walnut belonged in antique shops, that hammer-fired designs were relics, that internal locks made revolvers safer, that striker-fired polymer was the only future worth building.
Well, something extraordinary is happening in 2026. The firearms industry is backtracking, not because executives found their souls, but because customers revolted loud enough that ignoring us became financially impossible. Smith & Wesson publicly admitted the internal lock was a mistake. CZ brought back the original pre-B trigger geometry. Jacob Gray built an entire pistol with 0 MIM parts, machining every internal component from billet stock. This is your victory. Every forum post, every refusal to buy another soulless polymer striker, every dollar spent on used classics instead of new garbage, it worked. Today, we're counting down 11 features the industry stripped away and what's finally changing. If you've been watching us document this erosion for years, hit subscribe because we're holding manufacturers accountable until every feature is restored. Let's start with the biggest symbolic victory. Number 11. The death of the internal lock. For nearly 25 years, Smith & Wesson revolvers carried the mark of shame, a hole enthusiasts called the hole that lets the revolver's soul leak out. Introduced in 2000 as political compromise with the Clinton administration, this internal lock was an aesthetic disaster, a potential mechanical failure point with documented cases of guns locking up under heavy magnum recoil, and a constant reminder that lawyers had more input than gunsmiths. The reversal started with the 2024 Ultimate Carry J-Frame, a Lipsy's partnership prioritizing what shooters wanted. The UC series drove record sales, sending an undeniable message. In 2026, the classic no internal lock line is expanding across iconic models, the Model 10, Model 19, Model 29. But here's the engineering accomplishment. To meet drop safety standards without that lock, engineers implemented a new plate and spring system interacting with the hammer. The gun remains drop-safe without the frame hole. They also brought back the Balga tent lockup system for stronger cylinder engagement while maintaining classic lines. This wasn't about awakening to craftsmanship, it was about customers who refused to accept degraded classics. Number 10. Pre-B trigger geometry returns to the CZ75. The original 1975 CZ75 trigger achieved legendary status, extraordinarily smooth because it lacked a firing pin block. Later B models added the block for drop safety, but at brutal cost. Extra linkages created mushy take-up and a perceptible hitch. Competitive shooters felt the difference immediately. The 2026 CZ75 Legend reproduces the original 1975 design on modern CNC machinery, reverting to pre-B mechanics. This removes the firing pin block's drag, delivering inherently crisper pull with shorter reset. The pre-B returns because shooters demanded it loud enough that ignoring them became bad business. Number 9. The elimination of MIM parts in premium firearms. For 3 decades, metal injection molding dominated small internals. Hammers, sears, disconnectors stamped out like plastic toys. Budget guns? Fine. But $5,000 customs with MIM internals? Shooters felt cheated. In 2026, no MIM is a premium marketing pillar. The Jacob Gray Knox 9, $5,800. Every internal component machined from aerospace billet in South Carolina. 0 MIM. This returns to mid-century standards where pieces were cut from solid stock. Billet delivers tighter tolerances and consistent fit. The message? Premium prices demand premium materials. Number 8. Blued steel and walnut furniture dominate 2026. The tactical tan and matte black Cerakote era is crumbling under the weight of its own soullessness. In 2026, manufacturers are finally acknowledging what gun owners have known for generations. A firearm is often an heirloom, something passed down through families, and sterile polymer completely lacks the emotional resonance of traditional materials. High-polished blued steel and genuine walnut are back across every category. The Winchester Model 70 Super Grade Maple pairs premium walnut with a flawless blue finish. The Tikka T3X Hunter offers beautifully oiled walnut with classic blued steel. Even the Smith & Wesson 1854 lever action, chambered in the hard-hitting 4570, now features walnut furniture with textured grip panels, blending 19th century soul with 21st century performance. This isn't just nostalgia or old guys wanting their grandfather's guns back. Modern bluing processes are more durable than their predecessors, and high-grade laminates provide the classic look of wood with the dimensional stability of modern synthetics. The CVA Cascade Rimfire Classic proves that even entry-level training rifles are being elevated to significantly higher quality standards. When you pull a blued revolver from a leather holster, when you shoulder a walnut-stocked rifle, you're engaging with something that feels permanent, something genuinely worth passing down to the next generation. Polymer and Cerakote are tools with built-in expiration dates. Wood and blue are investments.
Number 7. The DASA Hammer System Resurgence. While the striker-fired revolution of the late 20th century prioritized simplicity and consistency, 2026 is witnessing a massive resurgence of the double-action, single-action hammer-fired manual of arms. Why? Because professional shooters and serious defensive carriers want what's called a second-stage safety, the ability to keep a thumb on the hammer while holstering, providing immediate tactile feedback if something like a shirt tail, jacket drawstring, or retention strap begins to pull the trigger. The Gestamin G9 HSP is genuinely revolutionary, a pistol that can convert from striker-fired operation to full DASA hammer-fired operation in approximately 20 seconds without any special tools. This modularity acknowledges that different missions and different shooters require different trigger systems, but the overwhelming popularity of the hammer-fired configuration reveals a deep-seated preference for traditional hammer drop safety and decockers. The Beretta 92X and SIG P226 are both seeing record adoption numbers in 2026 as shooters rediscover the tactical advantages of a long, deliberate first-stage trigger pull for defensive encounters, followed by a light, crisp single-action break for precision follow-up shots. Hammer-fired pistols provide something striker systems simply cannot: pure mechanical honesty. You can see the hammer. You can feel it under your thumb. There's zero ambiguity about the gun's condition. You know if it's cocked, you know if it's safe, and you can control it manually. In a world increasingly dominated by software, sensors, and electronic ambiguity, that mechanical clarity is worth its weight in gold. If you find this video interesting, then share it with your friend to support us, and subscribe to The Survival Show for more. Now let's get back to the video.
Number 6. Shoulderable revolver carbines return. One wild 2026 trend, shoulderable revolvers return via the Midwest Industries Bounty Hunter stock system, transforming revolvers into stable platforms without permanent modifications. This solves modern problems: revolver reliability plus carbine stability and optics mounting. When your revolver wears a stock, mounts a red dot, and delivers accurate 50-yard fire, it's not obsolete anymore. Number 5. Standardization on the 1022 rotary magazine. In rimfire, the dominant feature is standardization on Ruger's 60-year-old 1022 rotary magazine. CVA Cascade Rimfire and Bergara BMR both use it. Shooters share magazines across platforms. When the standard works, use it. Stop reinventing the magazine well. Number 4. Metal chassis and alloy frames for striker pistols. The 2026 market shifts from all polymer toward metal chassis or frames for strikers. Shadow Systems Axio, steel chassis over polymer grip for buttery recoil. S&W expands the M&P Metal series. Weight isn't a liability, it's reliable recoil management and better balance. Number 3. Tapered barrel profiles for balance. Tapered pencil barrels return, notably on the Smith & Wesson Model 10 Classic. They shift center of gravity toward your hand, a lighter feel, more responsive transitions. The Model 10's 4-inch tapered barrel nods to World War II Victory models. For carry and practical use, the live feel beats theoretical match-grade bulk. Number 2. The Pocket Caliber Renaissance. Against high-pressure 9mm saturation, 2026 sees 25 ACP and 32 H&R Magnum return. Seacamp reintroduced 25 ACP for deep concealment. The 32 Magnum surges through Lipsy's Ultimate Carry revolvers, 6-shot J-frame capacity with less recoil than 38 Special. Stopping power balances with hitting power, the ability to put multiple rounds on target quickly. Sometimes smaller, controllable calibers deliver better real-world performance. Number 1. Integrated barrel porting returns. Finally, integrated barrel porting, Smith & Wesson's PowerPort, returns. Popular in 1990s performance center guns, it was replaced by threaded barrels and separate compensators. But integrated ports provide recoil mitigation without added length or loosening risks. The Spec Series R Model 686 Plus, PowerPort vented 4.13-inch barrel, expelling gas at 12 o'clock to reduce muzzle rise. Jacob Gray Knox 9 includes it too. Paired with optics-ready slides and PVD finishes, retro function, futuristic performance, flat shooting reliability without aftermarket complications. These 11 features signal a fundamental shift, a craving for mechanical honesty. In a world dominated by software and sensors, firearms remain purely mechanical tools. Rejection of internal locks and smart guns isn't just reliability, it's a desire for direct relationship with your tool. When you feel a hammer click or see blued steel, you're engaging with honest physical reality. Manufacturers retreated where complaints were loudest, but the battle continues. Which removed feature would you most want restored? Which reversal surprised you most? Every comment, share, and purchase send signals. The industry listens now. Let's be clear, we want firearms built to last, with materials that matter, mechanisms we understand, tools, not subscriptions, craftsmanship, not cost-cutting. The rebellion is working. Let's finish the job.